the few. Way, 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 way up high in the Oppression Mountains stood Clinkenhofen Castle. The castle was owned and inhabited by a baron named Baron von Splodge. Early one morning, Splodge gazed from his bedroom window, which offered him a far-reaching view of other mountains and valleys. Above in the bright blue sky were peculiar shaped clouds as a cuckoo flew overhead. Splodge was very rich, just like his circle of friends. Despite his great wealth and achievements in life, Splodge recorded a boring existence. In fact, he became referred to as Baron von Boring by those that knew of him. The intensity of his boredom grew to impalpable levels that he decided he would use his intellect and financial resources to make his life more interesting. But what could he do? Buy the world? No, he was over $800 trillion short. Buy another castle and rent it out for inflated prices. Buy more private jets. Invest in scarce commodities. A spectrum of ideas immersed his mind. However, it was only as he sat in his lavish, diamond-encrusted bathroom that an idea finally incorporated him with a sense of excitement. So, what was his great idea? Well, he was keeping that a secret until after he arranged a private meeting with his like-minded chums. They included Spanner, Gargoyle, Dr. Twist and Tootsie. In the Baron's castle, the men sat listening to Splodge and his idea, which he meticulously explained to them. Spanner had made his money from upgrading old television sets and selling them for a profit. Gargoyle was rich as a result of using cheap plastic in household products, then selling at high prices. Dr. Twist was a successful novelist, writing about assembling and disassembling robots for industrial and domestic purposes. Finally, Tootsie was successful as an inventor of situations hardly beneficial to some. However, Tootsie had somehow not only prospered in life, but continued to do so. Splodge gamely announced that he and his members would be referred to as the few. The meeting endured for a period of 3 hours and proved to be a productive one. Well, it did for them anyway. At least one cuckoo had flown overhead, rather tellingly. So you may wonder, what was the plan devised by Splodge? All will be revealed. First, the Baron recruited more members to his group, ensuring that not only were they rich, but that they agreed to whatever plans he instigated. He then wrote a book to tell the world what his group's intentions would be. Maybe the readers would be deceived by the actual intentions of the few. The book was completed as global uncertainty became prevalent and was entitled Compliance, the Few Guide to Survival. Content included emergency procedures for the masses when faced by famine, disease and war. Among Splodge's solutions were eating protein-enriched cardboard in times of food scarcity. Also forensic style suits to be worn by those with cold or flu type symptoms. Regarding war and energy blackouts, Splodge suggests that those affected should use luminous sticks to find their way around. He does, however, state that members of the few would not be privy to these drastic measures. They would need to eat wholesome, natural food and continue life as though nothing was possibly wrong. This would be necessary as the few would have to be fit, healthy and happy to cater to the well-being of their masses. So, back to the plans proposed by Splodge and his cohorts at the aforementioned meeting. Spanner decided that plastic waste could solve world hunger by being recycled as food and also used as prescription medicine. Protein enriched, of course. He further suggested that the plastic could be liquidized to form various drinks. Preventative medicine would be given to all by way of sterilized blood injected into the body. Another of his projects would involve huge mirrors strategically positioned to deflect the sun's rays away from the earth to avoid heat waves. What a great idea, so he thought. Dr. Twist tabled his ideas, which included robots across most of industry, to save employers paying wages and eliminating the need for administration and paperwork. Twist felt that robots could act as butlers and maids in households, and robot pets such as dogs, cats and butchers would cut cost on feeding, and better still would be clean with no mess for the owners to clear up. Also, he wanted to promote the idea of transformers, which could see a plane convert into a car or even into a television set. A great idea, so he thought. Gargoyle offered his proposals to circulate people from warm regions to colder regions to protect them from potential heat waves or other adverse climate patterns. A brilliant idea, so he thought. Finally, Tootsie spoke of a luminous tattoo on every person's forehead, which could be detected even as far away as space by advanced receivers. The tattoo would be a simple yellow P to identify someone as poor. Just to be clear, nearly everyone would be tattooed this way. Underneath the tattoo would be a barcode detailing data on the person. That's a great idea, so he thought. Splodge announced his plans to the world, wary that the masses were not going to be in favour of these proposals. He was by now very old and perhaps close to assigning power to his successor. As he returned to his luxurious bedroom, he went with deep thoughts regarding his plans to change the world. The world also had deep thoughts.